Let's get it started. I'd like to welcome everybody to the first episode of the Paul and Pals live IG show. Now, just kind of give everybody some background. The whole point of this show is really just to highlight some of the people I know because I've met a lot of cool people, and I feel like some of their stories really inspire me, and I think they can inspire others. And I think the other benefit is just like learning. I think sometimes you might not know of actually what's out there, and when you finally hear about it, it might inspire you to go your own way. So the goal of this is really just to bring everybody together, have a community that we can talk about, and if you guys want to be on the show, let me know. We can set up a date. I got some stuff planned right now, but we can see where we can fit it in. So a little bit about who we're going to be interviewing today. I got my boys Josh and David, and I've known them since about, I want to say 2015 is when I first met Josh, and I later met David, I think in NOLA 2018. That was a good time. And ever since then I've always been really inspired by them because obviously the stuff they're doing with their own business is really cool, but just in their personalities, how they act, like we've been boys since we met, right? So I wanted to highlight them for this first episode. I hit them up about a week ago, and they were about it like right away. So without further ado, I would like to bring them in, and let me add them real quick.
Yeah.
Hey!
Hey.
Oh my dude. Hold up.
Hey,
What y'all drinking?
Good, y'all.
And what y'all drinking?
What you said?
What y'all drinking?
Oh, yeah.
We are empty-handed right now.
You don't even have a drink.
Right now,
yo.
I have some.
Come on, bro.
I need to pour up, bro.
That just lit off life, huh?
Working out.
Hey, we still lit though, bro. We still lit.
Yeah, I feel that. But how y'all doing, man? Let's start off there. How y'all living right now?
Good, man. I mean, I'll say like this is not an easy time, going through a global pandemic, so businesses
Something
definitely taking a hit. Yeah, so I think it's like been interesting just like being like in this environment and kind of like navigating things and like running a business within it. I think like it's been like a really cool experience so far, and like just like really just like going on for the ride, like loving it so far, but you just gotta grind day in and day out.
And where y'all at right now? Where y'all living?
Right now, we are in San Francisco, Cali.
Hey, I see that backdrop.
Little something. This is our office.
Yeah, this is
This is where we do
Crank
the work.
zone.
You know what I mean?
Y'all took working from home to another level, yo.
I mean, we had to. You know what I mean?
we work hard.
I converted our living room into our office.
I feel that.
Like we're in here pretty much like all day usually. Like
have y'all been able to leave? Like
10
how's
hours,
the
12 hours.
situation?
Bro,
How's the
like,
situation with that, friend?
to be honest, like in the last month, I probably have not gone more than like 3 blocks away from the apartment.
You
bro.
dead ass?
Yeah, bro. Like we have like a CVS down the street and like a grocery store across the street. So like literally I'll just go there, like buy something like quick and come right back. Yeah.
Damn.
Even like Costco is like 3-4 blocks from us. So like I haven't
That's
gone.
part of- You haven't gone to Costco?
No, I have.
Oh,
I have.
Costco keeps up. Costco, you know what I'm saying?
We go bulk up like once a month, just like buy everything we need.
Bet. All right, we starting to get some more
One in and out.
And so what I want to start with is just overall, I kind of want each of y'all to take some time to actually introduce yourselves, like who you guys are. So let me start with David. What about you? Who are you, bro?
Yeah, man. So I am David Iya. I'm originally from North Carolina, but I spent like most of my life in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. My background is software. I was a photographer for like 4 years. And so I like pretty much like went to college, worked in software for 3 years, and then like hated it. And I like really wanted to like control my location and my place.
Yeah.
No, sorry. My location and my time. So me and Josh, we like started this in 2017 and it like took off. So I moved to NOLA from Florida, spent about 6 months there. And then it just took off more and now we're here.
That's crazy, bro. So you just decided to just go to NOLA just cause? Like that, like you didn't think twice about it or what?
No,
Oh,
so
I did. I did.
actually. Call Josh hard on it, bro. I was like, NOLA?
I was like, bro.
Why would I like live there? Visiting there is dope, but like living there?
Yeah. NOLA's fun. Like
Turned out
that
lit though.
that Mardi Gras was a time,
Mardi
but
Gras
like
shit was wild, bro.
you know, consistently, I don't know, man. I don't know. But
Yeah. New Orleans is the vibe, bro. Hey,
Dang.
Paul, you should have lived there, bro.
Hey,
You should have lived there.
we'll talk off screen. But yeah, I appreciate you with that little intro, David. Let me hear about you, Josh.
Yeah, so Nigerian, born and raised, you know, gotta represent.
Hey,
Also, exactly.
Hey, people trying to submit resumes. They don't even know what y'all doing.
Hey, I mean, honestly, like we are hiring. So
okay, and we'll get to that. But
yeah. So grew up in North Carolina, also like in the same town as David. So I guess like fun fact about us, we like our parents are best friends, and so Dave and I were born 10 days apart, right?
What?
So
I dropped your birthday. What's your birthdays?
mine, I'm July 6th. He's July 16th. Yeah.
Hey, okay.
So
Go ahead. Best comes last, though.
right. Hey, I'm still leading the way, though.
Nah. Okay.
Anyway, so the story goes is like when our moms were pregnant and would hug, we would hug too. So I've literally known him. I have literally known him since the womb.
Yeah,
That's
too long.
crazy,
Since the
bro.
womb.
And like,
that's not
yeah, like, even on top of that, like my due date was actually July 16th, like on his birthday. But I came out early. I was like, bro, like I gotta go figure this out. I got us. So I came out 10 days early. You know, figured things out, and like here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
2020.
But yeah, all right. So like,
that's
bit on my background.
Sorry, bro. Yo.
Bit of my background. Yeah, born in North Carolina, lived in Louisiana for a bit. Was actually like homeschooled until like the 11th grade. So
For real?
yeah, definitely missed out on a lot of social experiences as a kid. So yeah,
A kid was nerdy.
So you got to college.
Bad nerdy.
yeah, so moved to Louisiana for a bit. Then went to Vanderbilt. Transferred to Penn State, where I got a degree in petroleum engineering. Moved to New Orleans and worked for Shell as a reservoir engineer. Shell gang. Hey, yo, I'm praying. Hey, I'm praying for y'all, bro. I saw that dividend drop today. Hey, I'm praying.
Hey, they cut that dividend today. I'm like, who hiring, bro? Well, y'all hiring?
I'm praying for y'all, bro.
And we'll talk after this, bro. For real.
Yeah. So at the time I was working at Shell, found out about like the space that we're running our business in. We just started like doing it like as a side hustle, just like making money on the side, and then it got like really like started like growing. We started like getting like lots of clients, making like lots of connections. So company like built up over time. Last year, like around May, I was like, all right, like need to just do this full time, because honestly, like I'm young right now, and if I don't go and try to like build my own like brand, build my own business, then like if I don't do it now, then who knows, like we'll not ever be able to do it. So quit my job at Shell, and then we moved out to San Francisco to run the business.
And how many years were you at Shell before you quit?
No, 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. Yeah.
So like, I mean, we're gonna get into what y'all business actually is, but like at that point, you felt that confident, like, yo, I'm gonna just drop this and start something new. Like, was there any like anxiety or something like that before going into it?
Oh, there was so much anxiety, bro. Like I remember the day, because like I told my parents. Of course, I got like running by my parents. Like told the whole family, I was like, yo, I'm quitting. Like I'm like doing this like full time, and my mom was like, Josh, please now. Please.
Josh,
You need to stay. She was like super worried. She's like, what if? She's like, just like stay, like make more money, and then go take a risk. I was like, nah, mom. Like now is the time. Like if it's not now, it's never. I remember like going into my boss's office like the day I was quitting, and like I like pinged him. I was like, yo, like I need to talk to you. And he was like, okay, like come down to my office. Went in there, bro. I was sweating bullets. The night before, I could barely sleep. So I walk in there, and I'm like, bro, I need to tell you something. He's like, what's up? And I'm like, I'm quitting. And he was like, you're kidding, right? I'm like, nah, like, I'm quitting. Like, I have to leave the company.
Yo, let me get some wine.
And yeah, I mean, like, it was definitely scary because, like, I just turned 26 last year, so off my parents' like insurance, like, literally all on our own. So like, the only money that we're making is like through this business. But the business like has grown and is doing well, well enough to like support us like financially. So that's been amazing. But then also like we like raised some money as well, which has also like helped us like put us like in a good spot. Will say like it's not an easy step. I don't care what stage you're at in life. Like if you're like making that leap to go do your own thing, it takes a lot of courage and like self-reflection. But honestly, like running a business has been like a dream come true, you know?
Like you felt you always had to do it. You feel like that was your like your call and your passion?
I've always been entrepreneurial. I can talk about like exploits we had as kids, what we did to like make money and stuff.
Side ventures, and, like hustles and stuff we would try.
Yeah, and like I always knew like going into Shell, I was like, this is not what I want to do.
I feel that.
Like kind of like, I mean, like no shade at anyone, but like my mentality was like, I can't. Like I was like looking at coworkers who were like 20, 30 years older than me. And I was like, I can't be doing the same thing 20, 30 years from now. Like that's just not my vibe. Yeah. So yeah, like I knew like an adjustment needed to be made.
And that's good. And I know like we've been kind of hinting at what y'all business is. And like, you know, we're going to talk about that little giveaway, you know, later. But actually, yeah, David, let me get you to like break down, or one of y'all break down what exactly on the most basic, like no lecture type shit. What is y'all business?
All right, so I guess like the easiest way to explain it is like GOAT for phones. So like GOAT is What's like GOAT? A marketplace, like a online like marketplace for shoes, right? But like GOAT is more like B2C. We are like B2B. So like we like connect like wholesalers, retailers, and so on and so forth. Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah.
So y'all basically connect like if I'm let's say I have mad phones, I want to sell it, y'all find the buyer basically. Like y'all create that marketplace to find the buyer.
So like you know how like eBay operates, right? Like someone will post something on eBay and then someone will go and purchase what they posted. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's a marketplace for used smartphones, and it's tailored towards businesses. So we have actual companies transacting through our platform, right? So there's this like hidden industry no one knows about, right? And like the best way that I know to explain it is just from a simple like user perspective. So like let's say you want to upgrade your phone. Like you want to get the new iPhone Pro Max, right? And you have like an iPhone like 8, and you're like, you have like an iPhone 8, and like you want to go trade it in for your new phone. So you go trade it in. Apple gives you a credit towards your new phone. You take your new phone and you forget about that iPhone 8 Plus, right? So that iPhone 8 Plus gets sold to a company who then sells through our platform. And so they're these massive companies. They're getting thousands of these phones a day, and then they try and find like buyers, like retail storefronts in the United States, international distributors, etc. So these phones are resold to consumers. So they're sold here in the United States, and then also like internationally. So in Nigeria, like there's like a huge like used smartphone market, Ukraine, Dubai, etc.
Man, yo. And earlier, so I mean, from that perspective, it makes sense. It's like a legit business, right? Like, how did y'all get in? Like, how do you even find that like entry though? Like, how do you even like?
As a mama put it, it was Gado. it was Gado. It was Gado.
And I remember, go.
Yeah, so I mean, like to be honest, like kind of like our.
So like we really like started off super slow. So like we first got into it because I like wanted to sell, I think it was like an iPhone 8 Plus, right? And so I like took it to Sprint, and Sprint said that they would pay me like $55. So I'm like, yo, like what? So I like look like online, and we like find that like we can sell phones for like $50 to like $150 higher online than to like stores. Yeah. So like from there, we like bought and sold like very very small scale that then like grew and grew and grew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a face GameStop type beat. Yeah. Yo, GameStop is ripping you off. GameStop is ripping you off. GameStop is ripping you off. Hey, let us know. Let us know. GameStop is ripping you off.
You know what?
Smith said $3. Nah, but like seriously though. Seriously.
That's crazy, bro. And what's funny, bro, do you remember, I think it was 2018 when I first started a show, you hit me up to tell me about this idea. And I was like,
yeah. I was like, bro, you can do this in your own city. And you were like, something don't seem right.
Hey man, I don't know. That seemed too good to be true, bro. But I will say, like, although I didn't do it, I think it was meant to be though, because like if I was doing it, I didn't have like no passion for it. I feel like you wouldn't have wanted me on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't have been really there. So, and like how big is y'all team? Like, are y'all doing this everywhere? Like, is it just SF or what?
Yeah. So the way that it works is we have clients all over the United States. We have people that, So like we have clients all over the United States, and then internationally we have clients as well. So we've sold phones to Nigeria, Ukraine, Dubai, China,
Latin America.
Yeah, like Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Mexico, etc. Yeah, so there's a client there's a client base in literally every country in the world. It's a massive market.
Everybody got phones.
Everyone needs a phone. Everyone needs a phone. So yeah, like we started off locally. And then as time progressed, we kind of started building like our own digital footprint, and started bringing on more people from all over the world. Yeah.
And then what is the reason why are y'all in SF right now?
So the move to SF was a strategic move, really just to like immerse ourselves deeply like within the startup space. We really wanted to be surrounded by other founders, people who were building their own businesses. People, and then we wanted to make sure that we were in an environment where we could easily meet investors, because we knew to take this like to the next level, we would need like some venture capital funds. So we moved out of here with that intention of meeting investors, and then meeting other founders. And it's been a great experience so far.
Oh, one thing I want to say is for the people asking questions that we may not touch on right now, submit it via the question feature right there at the bottom, so that we can at least get it at the end of the episode. We're gonna have like a Q&A, just in case we missed y'all questions. Please submit it. So the first question I just saw is, do y'all resell other products? Is it just phones or what?
So on the platform right now, it's just phones. If you go to our website, we're only dealing with iPhones right now. That's because we are intentionally like limiting the market of the devices that we work with and perfecting that before we start switching off to other devices. But the context we have like in our Rolodex deal with all types of devices.
Yeah. So like backdoor, we sell like watches, wearables, AirPods, tablets, laptops. Yeah.
Basically,
everything electronic.
Yeah. Basically, we had the hookup. You know what I mean?
Dang, yo. And actually, it brings me back. I want to touch on that raffle that we're going to mention towards the end. So, one, I want to first give you guys a shout out for even willing to do this. I know it's a business, so I can't just be, giving out stuff. But for the people that don't know, Josh and David have actually decided to choose one lucky winner, right? And basically what we need you guys to do is actually tune and pay attention. And then tomorrow we're actually going to post questions from the show. And basically what happens is whoever answers it, Whoever is able to answer all the questions, we're gonna choose like a random winner from that, and you get your own choice of any Apple product at a heavily discounted price. So more detail will be told about that discount, but I think just for y'all to even do that is dope. Like, y'all don't have to do that for me. I appreciate that, but I just want to give them
bro. Pleasure.
And so going off the SF strategic move, like, where do y'all see y'all like building into? Like, what is this gonna be?
Okay, so right now, I mean, like, I think it's like evidently clear that not many people know that this market even exists, right? Whole ass quiz. So it's like,
easy, bro.
It's pretty clear that people don't like know this market exists. So we want to be like the most front-facing platform known around the world as a place for businesses to source devices that they'll sell to their customers. And we want this to be a completely international platform where we have buyers and sellers, not only in the U.S. but like in every country throughout the world. Yeah. I think like we've made like a lot of progress in the last like 4 months, but there's so much more that we need to do. And like every day it's like we figure out like something new or like ways to grow the business. So it's been like really exciting, especially like this like last month has been like really cool. Yeah.
Something else that's really cool is like if you like see like what we built, like it like works for phones, but in time it'll work for everything really. So like shoes, shirts, clothes, everything. So at that point we're like aiming to really be like the like think of like Amazon of like wholesale. So yeah.
Okay, we got the next. Okay, that's lit. That's lit. And we got some questions coming in. Y'all ready?
Okay, cool. No. Niger billionaires. Billion.
Could it be? We got our first question from Carl the boy. What up, huh?
Okay, strategy for securing funding. Okay, so we went about this in 2 ways. So the first, we moved to San Francisco, immediately started reaching out to like people who could introduce us to investors, and then like other just like,
like warm
people. Yeah. So we were reach out to people who were kind of connected in the space already. Luckily for us, my cousin and like little brothers and stuff had been operating like in Silicon Valley for a while.
Paul will probably meet them and like talk to them on here.
So we were able to get like lots of intros to investors. But like the way that we ultimately decided to go was through an accelerator. So we applied to an accelerator called Y Combinator and got in. And so they invest in you in the company initially, and then afterwards you go through this this like huge like I guess like coming out day called Demo Day. On that day you pitch to like 1,000 investors, and like you're able to secure funding through them. So we're actually still like in fundraising mode. We have like calls with investors just about every day, doing like due diligence. They're asking us.
I'm trying to drop some numbers though. Y'all said fundraising, but what we talking though?
You know,
we capping
listen. So we actually have a an article coming out on Forbes in like a next month. Yeah.
You said Forbes? Yo.
Yeah. So we have an article releasing then. At that time, we'll like release like our like fundraising accomplishments and all that. But for now, we want to keep it a little hush-lipped until we've actually closed the funding. Yeah. But yeah.
Y'all just said Forbes like it's nothing, though. That's crazy. Damn, y'all heard it here first.
Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it first. Y'all heard it first.
Kind of software. Okay.
Oh wow! So it's funny. We actually built it from scratch. So right now we have a team of 5 devs and 1 designer. For the first like year, we only had like 3 devs.
What are devs for people that don't know? What are devs?
Oh, all right. So like these are like people that code. So like people that can make a like website, app, So we actually hired them. They are located actually in Nigeria, Lagos. But yeah,
Wait, so
so we have a staff size. Sorry?
wait, so your team is in Nigeria, as in like how did you get that?
Yeah, so we actually met them from a company that like me and Josh worked on back in 2012 called the Relief Group. So like they like hire staff over there. So like that we
I
like
got some
built this
sandwich.
entire like network of like very, very good people that can code. So we brought them on for Eze back in 2016.
High season 3. Hey, don't ruin it. I'm still watching it. Hey, don't ruin it.
Hey, don't ruin it, bro. I'm only on season 2, episode 3. Don't say nothing. Don't say
No
nothing.
spoilers. No spoilers.
Keep going, David.
Yeah. So like right now, I guess like in terms of software, we're like 2 weeks away from like fully launching our full-blown platform. So like that'll be going live soon.
And then what's like the back end, front end?
In terms of like the code that we use for the front end, we use React.js, and then for the back end, we use MongoDB. If anybody's like familiar with coding,
Yeah, I don't really know what that means, but yeah.
Yeah. Something really exciting that we are bringing, if you like do know coding, is that we're like bringing in AI into Eze soon. So like that would be very, very dope. And Josh can explain how we'll be using that.
Yeah. So one thing we're working on with the business, and I think like this is going to be like somewhat of a moat for us. What we're doing is we're training our computer program to be able to identify scratches on a device. So when people grade these phones and sell them, they actually will sell them based off like the condition that determines the price. But right now, to find out the condition of a device, you have to like visually inspect it, like in hand. And so what we're building is a machine learning algorithm that can take a picture of a device, scan the device for scratches, and then output a condition for it. And so by doing this, we're bringing the first objective grading criteria into this market, which isn't being done and is like very like opaque and different from company to company. So yeah, that's how we're bringing like new tech into the space, just to bring more transparency into it.
Dang, yo, y'all legit. I got some more questions coming in.
Okay, word. Okay, so process of procuring our product. Okay, so I guess like we had explained earlier that the majority of these devices are coming from individuals who are trading in their devices, and then those phones are aggregated and sold to these wholesalers or these businesses that we work with. So that's how they get their devices, from people that trade in old phones. And then we simply are connecting that wholesaler with a buyer who needs those devices to sell to their customer base. So that's like how the whole procurement works. I guess the biggest thing is just like actually like finding these like companies and then interacting with them, which is like the tricky part. So we've kind of like figured that out. Like we like know who to reach out to. So yeah, we've been able to find people. But yeah, that's how the process works.
And we got some more questions coming in. Yo, Juan, put that question in the questions thing. I got you after this.
The story behind the name Easy. Okay, so I think David answered this like in the questions log, but so I'm a Nigerian, and the tribe specifically that
Hey, drop the Nigerian flags.
Yeah, I'm Igbo, and so in the Igbo language, Eze, which is the actual pronunciation, means king, and so like kind of like our business strategy is war based. So everything we do has like a war connotation to it. So as like we like meet weekly, we call it like war tactics.
We
even
have like war chests.
Yeah, even at like our accounting scheme is all based on like war strategy, etc. So That was just
Y'all were
how the
born for
name
that
came to
too.
be. It's a short name, and like I think it's like pretty easy to remember. And then also in the U.S., we just pronounce it as Easy.
Very simple.
So kind of like a play on words, but with like I guess like a deeper meaning behind the actual name of the company.
Got you.
Yeah, but as you can tell, we rep Nigeria hard in everything.
Hey, you got to, bro. You got to.
In everything we do.
Got you. I got another question on the way.
Biggest setbacks and challenges in your journey? There's so many. There's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I'll talk. Yeah, so I'll talk about a couple that I think were heart wrenching, but at the same time kind of like made us be like go at this even harder. So I think like the first couple months we started doing this business, we started like meeting like suppliers and stuff. And there was just like one company that had been supplying us with a pretty steady like number of devices. And so I'll never forget this time. David was actually in New Orleans visiting, and he was the one doing the business with them because their company was based in Jacksonville. Anyway, so the lady like messages us and says, "Hey, I just got like a big shipment of phones in at a good price. Here's the price, but like you guys need to send me the money now, or I can't hold them for you." So we were like, "Man, like this is a really good deal. Like she's been good to us. Like things have gone really well." And so like we like talked it out. I think it was like a couple like days to do it. We sent them the money up front.
5-6 days.
And we never got it back. And we lost. I think we lost like.
Yo, it hurt, bro.
Yeah, so I think we lost like $5,000 on the deal, and like it was so sad because like it was like literally all the profit we had made up until that point, and it was just gone. It was gone. Like I tried calling like I tried calling my PayPal. I called my debit card company. So we had sent some of the money through Apple Pay. And I'll never use Apple Pay again because
to this day,
like they like refused to help us. It was tragic story. to this day. So it was like super tragic. But I think like it kind of like made us like wake up like hindsight being 2020, like looking back on the deal is like, come on, man, like why would you make that decision? And I think like that has kind of like trained us never, or like to make sure that we like vet every deal through and never just put up money without like any like insurance. So since then, like we haven't been scammed or lost any money. So it was a good learning lesson. I'll say the other setback that we had that I think was like pretty impactful was, I told you that we had applied for the YC Combinator, for Y Combinator first, and got in, but we actually applied twice. So the first time we applied was about like, honestly, I think it was like a year.
At this time last year.
Yeah, it was like a year and a week ago.
Yeah.
That we went for our interview, and I had planned on quitting Shell. Like everything was planned. It was like, all right, we're gonna go to YC.
Like go there, get in.
Yeah, because you find out day of. So I was gonna get into Y Combinator, get funding for the business, go back to Cali, be like, yo, I'm done. Quit my job, and we didn't get it, unfortunately. And it was such a blow. We
interviewed.
Yeah.
And then you wait all day long, bro.
All day
so
long.
So literally like 8 hours, you just wait, just like sitting there, bro, like mad, like nervous, and like, thinking about it.
Yeah, and like the way it works is if you actually got it, they call you.
Right.
And if you didn't, they send you an email. And so like I turned like my email notifications on. We were driving. All right, so like we had waited until like 8-9 o'clock. Hadn't gotten anything, and so we were like driving back to our place, and like mid-drive we get the email, bro, and I had like a panic attack. Like I had to pull over. I had to pull over.
Straight tears, bro. I was like,
set out of the car, like it was like my life was over. I was so sad. But like we realized, I think like for us, it was like, okay, let's prove them wrong. Like, let's build out a product they're going to be sorry that they missed out on. From that point, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm still going to quit. Like, this is a viable business. We know that. Let's just go all out and do it. So still went forward and like quit the job and everything. And I think like that, like really like gave us like the like resilience in the business. Like, even though like someone says no, like keep fighting. Excuse me. Hey, hey, is this live? Is this live? Can we rewind?
Hey, next question, bro. That's enough. Let's see what we got. We got some good questions in here. I'm gonna go with the boy Manny. Also, before y'all answer this, so I want to give a heads up. We got about 20 minutes left, so I'm gonna go till about there's 5 minutes left. And we gotta kind of wrap it up, but just want to give y'all a heads up.
Okay. Yeah, great question. Yeah, so great question. Okay, so I think like from like the inside of every company, I think a lot of people will say that luck was the reason why they were successful. But everyone from the outside would say it was all hard work. I definitely think like it's a mixture of the both. Like I think like we came into the space at a really interesting time. And like with like our backgrounds, like kind of like being in tech, running companies before, we knew how to build the company like, and had like low costs, especially on the software development side. And then like there was a lot of hard work that went into it. Like you can ask like any of my friends in New Orleans. I'm like a very outgoing guy, but during the week I don't talk to anyone. Like I don't like hanging out with people on weekdays. And like even on weekends, like Saturdays and Sunday mornings, I'm usually doing work. So I mean, like even like during YC, we were working 12 hours at least a day. So like there was a lot of like hard work that's gone into this, but I think like just like being like in this space at this time, even finding out about the space the way that we did, just coming out to like pockets of information, like luck definitely played a huge factor in our progress.
All right, man, we got another. Y'all can send us some good questions, yo. I appreciate it. Hey, we got the boy with lead in it. Hey. And he's in SF right now.
Well, Lee, what's good,
up.
bro? You initially created the software platform. Yeah, so I mean, I have coded it myself. So I built the very first version of the platform along with 3 devs. It sucks actually because like that platform never saw the like, the a light of day. But we like used that for like version 2.0, which we like used slightly, and then that has been used for like this one now that we are building. So like this one has been built by me and 5 devs.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
He put 2 questions in one. Finesse.
Yeah.
And what is our day-to-day like? Actually, so it's funny. So like our like devs are 9 hours ahead of us. So like usually most nights I'm awake from like midnight till 4 with them working and like coding with them, and then I'll sleep from like 4 to 10 and then wake up and then same thing. Yeah, every day. Yeah.
On my day-to-day, like it really depends on what's going on that week. Like every day I would say is different in its own way, just like different problems you're trying to solve. So like fundraising has been a big like focus of mine recently. So taking lots of calls with investors, doing a lot of like financial modeling, like built out my first like financial model this past week. So like lots of like learning about like fundraising, and then just still like trying to grow the business at the same time. So yeah, it really varies from day to day.
Got you.
Yeah, why y'all keep talking about scammers, yo?
We got another question. Boy, Rinze.
Okay, yeah, great question. So fortunately for us, I think like this is like pretty atypical, but the business that we've been running has been profitable since day one. Besides that, that blip where we got scammed.
Okay.
Yeah, the
5K.
business has been profitable since basically day one, and like it was just like the seed money that we took out was just money I'd saved up from Shell. So just pull out some money and then like use that as working capital. Recently we raised like some funding from YC, so that's also like helped. But the business is generating money. Also, because we use Nigerian developers, our costs
It's
are
like
a
much cheaper.
lot lower than
Devs here.
people using devs in the United States, and so that's kind of how we've been able to scale the business on the tech side without like really killing ourselves and diving deep into our pockets.
Yeah, like just like put things into perspective. Like for a dev here, you would be paying them like pretty much like 70K to like 6 figures. Where there you can get like a very very good dev for about like 35K.
Yeah.
Annually. Yeah.
Good answer. Got one right here. Chiamaka.
Okay, so who's our competitor and what's our strategy in staying on top? Okay, so in our space, it's a massive space, but it's very
Very fragile.
like it's very like tech light. So like not many people are utilizing technology in order to like grow their platforms. I think what we're doing is we're tech first in everything that we do, right? So we want to give people the best user experience in our platform. We want to make it super easy and simple for users to source the devices that they need and for sellers to sell the devices that they have in inventory. I mean, like, I guess like the biggest thing is us talking to our customers and making sure that their user experience is top notch. Competitors, I would say, like in this space, are like I said before, like not very tech savvy. Most of them just have like forums or online platforms where you can post the stock that you have, but those platforms aren't facilitating any transactions or making sure that no one is getting scammed with in them. And that's like kind of what we're bringing into the space that's not being done. So yeah, I would say like that's how we're kind of staying ahead. I mentioned like our machine learning algorithm, like the AI that we're building. That really is going to be like our bubble, or like I'm sorry, not our bubble. Our moat is having that technology to be able to virtually, I guess, like classify a device without having to see it in person. And like with that, we want to like automate the inspection of all devices and then have them sold through our platform.
Gotcha. So y'all want to give a 10-minute warning. So I'm actually going to give it up for just one more question. I'm sorry for the other ones. I will try to screenshot and try to save it for later. So maybe they can answer it via the story.
Cool.
We're going to make our last question. That's a good one. Oof. Thanks, Jillian.
That's a good one. Okay, so I would say like the biggest thing is just open communication. So whenever we like plan on doing something, is letting the other person know like, okay, like I have like this coming up. I'm gonna knock like this work out, and like I may not be able to get to this work, so let's figure out like if this work needs to be done or not. So yeah, it just like honestly, just having like a clear channel of communication, and I'm not gonna lie, like we've known each other all our lives, and like we definitely like butt heads.
Right. Like with that said, I would say also like to like not be afraid of conflict. Like we fight like
We fight.
like a lot. Like,
I'll see that.
but it always helps at the end of the day because you like both like know that you are both like for the team, you know, like for Eze.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I would say there's definitely at least like there's a bi-weekly like big fight that we
like
have.
war. Yeah.
Like where there's
Which like I always win, you know, but every week I win.
we won't jump into numbers on like who wins and who doesn't. But
Now you don't want to talk numbers.
Yeah.
we definitely fight. We definitely fight. But yeah, I think like if you're running a company with someone, like you need to be able to communicate with that person, like on a whole different level. like people have compared like being like co-founders having like closer relationships than like their partners.
Yeah.
And I think like that like is like really is like so true because like to be able to work with someone, you need to know like what their mental like mindset is almost at all times in order for you guys to run the company well together. So like you really have to be like close and like willing to communicate, especially about like personal matters and stuff that aren't like the easiest things to talk about. So if you plan on going into business with someone, make sure that you guys have a very like open relationship, and that like when you communicate, like you're being like honest and upfront with each other.
That was a good question, man. So yeah, that was the last question I'm gonna have here. So what I want to do is just kind of wrap it up before we go. So I want each one of y'all to just drop something that y'all feel has really like kind of stuck with you, like something that's kind of kept y'all motivated doing what y'all do day in and day out. So I'm gonna start with David. Like, what's that little piece of advice you want to drop for us?
Me, all right, man. Oh, snap. Wait, sorry. Can you repeat that question?
Right, that cut off. Yeah. So I want you to just drop something for the people real quick. Kind of like what keeps you motivated. What's like the thing that kind of like keeps you from day in and day out. Just some more advice for us.
Yeah, man. Like, so for me, like, I think that the main thing that drives me is like, it's not easy and it's not a like light gift to like be in control of your location and your time. And so like, if you have that, you should guard it. So like with that comes a ton of work, you know? I'll say like what like keeps me going is that like everything that I do it isn't even for me, you know, like truly, but it's for like my parents and like siblings. And like, this is really just like phase one of something much, much greater for me, you know, like, I think like if we can take this where we like want it to go, then we'll like be in such a place where we can build even just like so much like more in incredible things, you know, just like improve lives, just to help people. And so really it's just like, we all have like the same time in every day. And it's just like how we like use it. And so my thing, I think it's like to like use it to like reach as far as I can to like help as much people as I can, honestly. And so yeah.
I feel that.
Then honestly, I'll be real, to make as much money as I can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You talking this money? You talking what you mean, Brad? You talking this money? You talking too much bullshit, bro.
I'm trying to get this money, man.
Hey, but we got like 7 minutes, bro. Something quick, Jack. What you got for us? Top that.
Yeah.
Top
Okay.
that.
So I'll try not to get like too deep, but like for me, I've always like wanted to create something that other people would use, like just like. I like every time like we like make a new website or something, like there's like this like feeling that like you've like created something like a baby or something, you know, that people are actually using. And I think like that's like been an incredible experience. One thing, and I try not to like go like too deep, but like if I'm being honest, and like I hate like bringing like race into this because it's so like crappy to bring up. But one thing, one thing that has been like apparent like to us has always been like there's just not enough like people or like black founders like running their own companies and doing big things. And like I want to be someone who can be like looked up to as like, okay, like this guy, like he's self-made, like not going off his parents' money or anything. Like this is someone who just had like a vision and went for it, and like if he can do it, so can I. I don't think like I'm like smart, like super smart or anything. Like I just put a lot of like hard work, and like things kind of just like started working out. So like for me, like it's motivating others, and being like an example or like figure that people can see and be like, wow, like they were able to do something like this. Like I can do it too. And then also just like as like people like in Silicon Valley like see more and more black people create like massive companies that are doing well, like that barrier or that like friction that comes with funding that next black founder becomes that much easier.
Very true.
So it's kind of just like helping to be like a trailblazer, in that space that allows like, other people who come behind us for it to be a lot easier for them.
That's good.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna wrap it up. So I'm gonna let y'all go. But once again, man, I really want to appreciate y'all for being a part of this. You know, for first time thing. Like I thought about it. I thought it would work. And I think it was a good time. So I'm gonna let y'all go. But once again, everybody in the crowd, just drop a horse for him, yo. Appreciate y'all taking the time, and then I'm gonna wrap this up.
Appreciate you, bro.
Paul.
Appreciate you.
Brother, man.
Anything for you, man. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for giving us the time, y'all.
No problem, man.
Yeah, everyone.
All right.
So before this thing ends on me, I want to give a shout out to just everybody that came through to watch this. I think we had like just mad people watching it. And I just want to say I appreciate y'all for joining me on this journey. I'm going to see what happens. We got a next guest for next week, so I'll be announcing that in a few weeks. I want to give a shout out to all the people that helped me do this thing, though. So I want to give a shout out to my boy Juan. Y'all go show him some love. Follow him. He did all the artwork. He put in hours. You know what I'm saying? Like mad hours into this. I told him about 2 weeks ago, and I think he made about, I don't know what, 30, 20 different copies. So, and I was very picky, right? You know, I'm just telling him like this. So he put a lot of work for him. So show him that love. I want to give a shout out to Kat. She actually gave me the idea for this after my last live. She just said, I think I should interview people that, you know, I think are doing dope things. And that's what I really want to say. I want to give a shout out one more last time to Josh and David. You know, I think it's just crazy how much they were about this from the jump. I've never done this before. I thought it would be like a little, you know, it might be a little difficult, and they said we're down, you know. And so even for the raffle, they're willing to give away a discounted price of their product that they don't have to. So once again, and then I want to give a shout out to all the fans that are watching this right now. I think this is the start of something. So just keep showing love, share this wherever you guys want to do it, on your Twitter, on your Instagram, and let's keep building. But once again, thank you guys for joining the first episode of Paul and Pals, and I'll be coming back live again soon. Thank you.